Hey, what's up? I'm Daymond John. I'm a businessman. I founded a company called FUBU. I'm an investor. I'm also a shark. I'm called the People Shark on ABC Shark Tank. I have a new Audible original called Founding FUBU. Here are 3 audiobooks that I suggest you listen to if you want to thrive in business and grow your personal wealth. Let's get into it. Recommendation 1, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I believe I first read this book right around the age of 18 years old. And what did I take from that book? That he had 2 dads. One just didn't believe that people could afford wealth or that rich people were evil in some form or another. And he had another one that believed that everybody should be able to enjoy wealth and have the resources they need in their life. And that you can do it because he did it. He put it in the way of, don't go and buy doodads. What's a doodad, you may ask? Well, a doodad is something that you buy and it never makes you money. But the things that you buy or the things that you own, have other people pay you for that. Hence, you go and buy a home and you're spending $2,000 a month on a mortgage, so somebody else pays you $2,500 a month to rent it from you. And then you double that and triple that. Before you know it, that house goes from $100,000 to $300,000, and you've made all that money because somebody else paid it for you. Now, if you go out and buy a whole bunch of jewelry and a whole bunch of things that depreciate, well, then what happens there? You end up making somebody else rich. I realized at that time when anything that I had or anything that I owned, it had to produce income for me. So I bought a van because I could use the van to work in the van. God forbid I become homeless. I could sleep in the van and I can go out and travel in the van instead of just a car that would potentially depreciate. And I think that's what I took away from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it started setting me on a path of always wanting to own something that somebody else paid for. If I were to think about how to improve how we teach kids about money and wealth, we don't teach them at all. We don't teach what to do with taxes. We don't teach how to balance a checkbook, what's compounding interest, what's a depreciating asset, what's a liability. If you don't have that information, and then at the dumbest stage of your life, credit card companies are coming after you to offer you credit and offer you $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 worth of student debt that you won't be able to pay off for the rest of your life for an education you're not even certain if you want to have. Well, we're setting kids up to fail. It actually is the only thing you're ever going to need to know is how finance works. It's pretty simple. You either increase sales or reduce costs. And everybody's going to have to be able to feed themselves. What's the credit system like? How does that work? So it's critical. It's something that we are making a big mistake off of. And we've recently seen that where a bunch of people get this helicopter dump of money. They don't want to work anymore, but they're standing outside of Louis Vuitton buying doodads. Recommendation number 2, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Remy Sethi. I listened to this book probably first time was 3 years ago, the second time was right before the pandemic hit when I said, this book is absolutely amazing. I need my employees to listen to this book. So we had kind of like a book club. And it reinforced so many things that I love about finance. It's about setting up a system. We often go through life and we pay for everybody else besides ourselves first. We go and put money all these other places and we treat ourselves and then we don't have, instead of taking ours first and making sure that we are very, very disciplined on how we take our money in and where do we put it. Also, knowing that every bank has different forms of financial instruments, but what is your goal at the end of the day? Are you putting it away because you want to retire at a certain age? Are you putting away a certain amount to play with, to invest? And this is what I love about him because he says, here's the goals and here's the structures. And he also gives you like scripts that you can read when you call up a credit card company and know that you're at 22% interest and you want to get down to 15%. Also telling you how credit works. Don't you want to pay only 2% instead of 6%? Don't you want to only put down 10% instead of 30%? So these are all the things that Remy teaches you, and I love the fact how he gives people simple takeaways that they can apply today. Here's what I like to tell people about investing in the stock market. I like to invest in simple things that I know if they went away, they would disrupt my life. I'm not that advanced. I'm not going to look at infrastructure and all this kind of stuff out there. But I know that if Uber went away, I would have to go back and catch yellow cabs. It would disrupt my life. Here's another important thing about young people going into the market. We have too much access these days. If you were to put $20,000 in Apple in the year 2000, after it split 16 times, it would be worth $1 billion to you. But more than likely, you put 10,000 or 20,000 in it, and once you saw it at 50,000, you pulled it out. Don't trade. Put in great companies, long periods of time, forget about it, and you'll be okay. Recommendation number 3, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read this book the first time when I was 14 years old. I have to say that this book was an absolute game changer for me. First time I read it, I didn't grasp as much of it that I should have. But what did I take away from it at first was something called goal setting. And it talked about putting your goals on a little mirror or on a piece of paper. At that time, we didn't have iPhones, and reading them. So I read my 10 goals every night before I go to bed and every morning when I wake up. 6 of them expire in 6 months. The other 4 expire in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. I never hit my goals because I set them so big. Another thing that I realized out of that book was that most of the most successful people in the world, they are constantly learning. And they surround themselves with people that can teach them. And they're always extracting information. It doesn't mean they're using all the information, but they're deciding what is of value, what is not. What are they doing right? What do they not want to do? It shows the use of information, the power of information. And I think that is the most powerful thing. There's so many lessons in that book. I get new information every single time I listen to it. Thank you so much for watching. To learn more about my business journey, check out Founding FUBU on Audible. And make sure to subscribe to Audible's YouTube channel for more great content.